This video is brought to you by CoolStuffInc.com, where you can find cool stuff in stock.
Hello, and welcome back to another day in the arena. It's me, it's CGB, and today in the arena, we are going to talk like this the entire time in the spirit of Halloween. Okay, maybe we won't talk like that the entire time. Do you like my Emperor Palpatine impression? Another beautiful day in the arena, but not just any day in the arena. I record this on Halloween, and I had to find a trick-or-treat deck that was not only good and in spirit, but is also competitive, because today is the last day of the Mythic season. As you can clearly see, I am ranked 1,035 with 4 hours and 12 minutes to go. If I stay in the top 1,200 for this period of time, I will be invited to play those eSports competitive events next month. If I fall out of the top 1,200, well, no championship event for me. Behold! 69 mastery. Nice. Oh my gosh. When I first started setting up this video, I had to put on the outfit. It was 4 hours and 20 minutes to end a season and rank 69 mastery. Those are numbers. Keep it family friendly, CGB. What's the matter with you, man? What is going on? Anyway, so I have some cool decks I was going to show today for Halloween. My Rakdos Party and my Massacre Troll deck seemed like good trick-or-treat moments. Demir Control was something I wanted to do as well. But because of the end of the season, I need a competitive list. So I thought, what better way to trick-or-treat rogues than have them mill me and see Kroxa? Kroxa, the ultimate trick-or-treater, demanding a trick or a treat with every play, with every enters the battlefield activation. A land and 3 damage, or a spell and no damage. So yeah, we're going trick-or-treating with Kroxa, trying to top 1,200 Mythic by dumpstering rogues at every frickin' turn. This list is Paulo Vito Damadorosa, the reigning world champions list, and Mike Sigrist in the Rivals League also played it, and they both put up amazing finishes. Paulo got 9 wins out of 12. Mike got 8 wins out of 12. So this appears to be a solid list for the archetype. There are some changes I would make for best of 1 and for ladder. I'm going to do them right now for you in front of the world. I don't like Murderous Rider on ladder. A little bit too slow. The life payment can really bite you, and it's good against slower metas and slower fields, but best of 1 is very, very aggressive. And what I'm going to grab instead, you could grab a number of things. Heartless Act and Eliminate both come to mind, but I'm going to grab Shredded Sails, because Shredded Sails is an out against the Great Henge that the deck otherwise lacks. It can also punish the card Glass Casket, which the Yorion decks love because of Skyclave Apparition. So for me, it is Shredded Sails into the deck. One of the key differences of this Rakdos deck versus the other builds of the archetype is 4 copies of Robber of the Rich to be very, very aggressive, but also have reach to block fellow rogues. Rogue on rogue technology. Vicious. With less Bone Crusher Giants in the meta, Robber seemed a little better. I'm worried about that in best of 1 because I think the Gruul Adventure deck is going to be very good, and I'm afraid of the Gruul Adventure deck. It's a very tough deck to beat, and without Heartless Act, I expect it to be a very, very tough deck to beat. So I'm wondering if I can even get Heartless Act back into the deck. What spot would it take? Probably the spot of the Shredded Sails, possibly of the Bloodchief's Thirst. And we do have Liliana, we do have Rankle, we do have 2 Hagra Mulling, we have 3 Pelika Predation, and we have a ton of land. So 19 lands, plus these 4, that's 23. That's 25. That's 28 potential land. So it tells me that Pelika Predation is expected to get cast often. And I'm not so sure that's the way I want to do things. I think I can trim on the land. I know, famous last words. Hear me out. I think I can trim on the land the expensive cards and the legendary creatures to get more removal into the deck that's cheap to cast to compete with Gruul. So I'm going to do it, and we're going to see if it actually ends up burning me. You see, there are no Heartless Acts in this deck because the meta that Paulo properly expected wasn't particularly aggressive. It was not a lot of Gruul Adventures. Only 4 people played it, and it smashed the field. But on the other hand, the slow version of the deck, willing to take its time, grind, and beat things little by little, that Yorion, Dimir Rogues, kind of slow control Rogues meta is exactly what showed up in the MPL. So hopefully this is a good example of one-boarding, taking a deck that did well in a very specific metagame at a very high level and adjusting it for the MTG Arena ladder, which is almost certainly, in best of one, going to be very aggressive, especially on the last day of the season. So hopefully this is good. Hopefully Kroxa will trick-or-treat us to victory. Let's dive in. Let the non... Hold on. Let the nonsense begin. It's a battle of gamers on the bubble. The opponent shows me Yorion. We have a Predation, a Kroxa, a Robber, and a Giant. I think it's all right. Can we grind out Yorion with this version of the deck? Something I didn't expect to play too much of today. I'll keep Timurit Calls the Dead. Tap land. Tap land, go. Esper. Okay. Let's see if you brought removal to your party. Not yet. Get those 2 points. There's the casket. Shredded Sails will be nice if we can find it. Untapped land. Do we call the dead? I think so. I think so. We could also Predation and take a Doom Foretold potentially here. Actually, there's several ways to do this. So I don't think we can aggro out our opponent. If we play this and they play a Doom Foretold, then they have to give up the casket, give us back Robber. I think we're okay against that right now. So we'll go with Timurit Calls the Dead, hope to hit something. And we do. And we have an Ox. Treacherous Blessing, trick or treat. Oh boy. Alright. Does our opponent have a Yorion next turn to draw another 3? Maybe we have to Predation them this turn and take something away. We don't want them to get rid of this, so taking their Doom Foretold or taking their Yorion to benefit from it could be really good. But we'll see what we draw. Another Smashing. Now we have to exile the Ox, but I think that's okay. Woo! Dream Trawler. And an ECD to get it back. Wow. How the heck am I supposed to beat that? It's still 2 turns away. And there's a Shark Typhoon and an Apparition. I guess these aren't great plays, whereas this is a pretty good play. So I think I'm supposed to take the Yorion, and now I have to close or find a way to remove the Dream Trawler before it comes down. Oh man. If the opponent plays a Yorion here and draws another 3, I don't have a good way to remove that either. I guess it's the Yorion, but yeah, that's a terrifying hand. We have to make them scared to play the Dream Trawler. The fact that we didn't take it, maybe intimidate them a little. We don't need another Kroxa. We have one in hand. Okay. setting up the lands to go get the Trawler. That Trawler is a monstrosity, but if we can find a Heartless Act, we can tap it on a crucial turn and try to win that way. Are either of these good to keep? This can remove the wall. Do we need that? We actually do, right? Yeah, we need to get the damage done. The opponent here can make a Shark. We can Bone Crush it. Then we can Kroxa. Brutal. That was a really good draw for them. Kind of the perfect bridge card in a way. Alright, they double up blocks. We'll stomp one. Too bad we didn't get to keep the Blood Chief's Thirst. I guess I could have shocked for Shatterskull Smashing to do it. That didn't exactly cross my mind the way it should have. Yeah, having a Blood Chief's Thirst next round for this would have been crucial, but I couldn't. I guess I could have shocked this in, played this. Ugh, I'm mad at myself for that one. That could come back to bite me. Okay, opponent's not going for Dream Trawler. I guess we're very happy about that. Calls the dead. So this can tap Dream Trawler, which is nice, but maybe I'm supposed to just play other things here. Kroxing the opponent. We can get Kroxa on the field, but Skyclave Apparition takes it, but they lose 2 cards. They don't lose any life, and they get to put something in the graveyard that comes back from ECD. Plus, we need to play spells this turn. Alright, we set ourselves in a position here where we just have to top deck. But that's the way it is. We have to top deck a removal spell to take down to tap the Dream Trawler. There's no other real way. If they play it. Opponent might not play it again. And when I say take down the Dream Trawler, I just mean tap it. Tap it to get damage through. That Omen of the Sun was brutal. I was prepared for a lot of things. Omen wasn't one of them. They're going for the Yorion. Okay. I mean, 2 life, 2 blockers. It's probably game either way. It's just weird how cowardly they're being about Dream Trawler. That card is just often game over here. They give me back the Robber to get an empty casket to start picking off zombies. Another Kroxa is not great. Alright, get it back. I guess it's okay because the opponent has to take next turn to play another Skyclave Apparition to get rid of the Kroxa. I mean, they don't have to, but they could/should. There it is. There she is. Took long enough. Alright, now we just have to somehow clown out the opponent. They might let this Dream Trawler die and gain the life and get it back with the ECD. Okay, they take it. That's a lot of damage. And they block with a token. Sure. Alright, I think I have a plan, and I think it looks really dumb. But I think I'm doing it. I'll show you in a minute. What are you getting back? Skyclave Apparition? Brutal. Yeah, I don't think that I can win, but I can try to make the opponent make a mistake. Maybe if they pay too much life with Treacherous Blessing. Maybe if they tap too many resources. Uh-huh. Never mind, it's not gonna work, is it? Nope. If the opponent had gotten back a Skyclave Apparition, I think it might have worked. So the plan is to block the Dream Trawler with the Robber of the Rich, Bone Crush my own Robber of the Rich so they don't gain the life. But they're going to be able to exile Treacherous Blessing here, and that's going to be huge. Because now they don't pay any life this turn. And then at end of turn they go back up to 10, they draw 3 more cards, and I don't think I can find a way to kill them. Seems impossible. Anyway, let's leave. It was going to be a cool play, but they're just way too far ahead for it to be any good. Time is of the essence, and we're on the outside looking in now. 2 straight Yorions, the matchup we wanted the least. I'm starting to think I misjudged the meta and I should be playing rogues. We'll give it another game after this one at least before we make that judgment, but if I play 3 straight Yorions, then everybody has switched to control for the end of this season, which is something I've never seen before. Alright, well, if we top deck the untapped land, we get the really sweet curve out with Kroxa and Timurit Calls the Dead. So we can try for that. We draw the land. So we'll go for it. No negate this time. But that did stick on the stack. They must have an Omen. Oh yeah, we're off to the races. Alright, so we don't want to exile the Croc, so we get 3 more cards. That's enough. If we hit another enchantment or creature, we can make a zombie out of it, I think. 1, 2, 3. Then go down to 4. Then this goes up to 5. Alright. Never mind. Opponent feeling saucy about it. Fortunately, I get a 3/3 here, but the opponent might have Shatter the Sky. And you'll see my removal spells start looking really bad. Okay, not Shatter. This will give us a chance to play the Bone Crusher Giant so that if there is a Shatter, we get to draw a card for having a 4-power creature. Alright, so play Bone Crusher Giant. Nice. Pay 3. Play Mire Triton. Keep it good and aggressive. Because now, even if there is a Shatter, we bring back the Kroxa. Oh, Awesome Ted with the heart and the scoop. That hand must not have served Awesome Ted very well. Oh, baby. Covert Go Blue versus Covert Killer in a battle for top 1200 Mythic. We'll see about that. We shall see. I have no idea. No companion probably means Gruul. Gruul means I think I keep this. Could also be mono red. Yep. There's the mammoth. Let's steal some things before the giant monsters come out to play. Edgy. Ooh, I have an adventure creature. Yes. Yes. What? Green-black. Interesting. I will Croxa you, I think. Drawing 2 straight Blood Chief's Thirsts off the top. What were the odds? We need to dig for Timurit Calls the Dead, Mire Triton. Ways to fuel this. The opponent's not going to fuel it for us, because we still haven't played Rogues today. Which, wow. By the way, wow, haven't played Rogues. It's kind of weird. There's the Beast. Ox, nice. Beast dies. That means they have a great henge, I think, when they play out a beast like that. Manual taps! What nonsense is this? Oh, they're gonna get it back? Order of the Midnight? Maybe. Brain overload kicking in, and they do get back a lovey-dovey. And make a 1/1. And play a land. The good old adventure creatures at it again. 5 mana. I'm going to want to stomp this 2/2, but I think I just want to take an aggressive foothold in the game and try to get some attacks in. I know with another beast coming down that's going to be hard, but I can Blood Chief's Thirst it. And then maybe the 2/2 that can't block is something I can ignore while beating the opponent into the ground mercilessly. I could use a Fabled Passage. Fill this graveyard. Here they come. What are we on? 4 now in the graveyard? This is 5? Sounds fun. And we're empty-handed for Ox next turn. Crap! I did it wrong, everybody. I spent the removal. We'll have to draw some. This is why I'm the best. Don't get it. Don't get confused, everyone. Yeah, nice. That's right. Now let's see if they have another. Or if it's just Great Henge rotting in your hand. Rotting. Crap! No! What? You monster. Perfect draw. Maybe they've been holding it. This has been the weirdest day. This is the first time ever at end of season I can't predict the meta. Like, it's been completely off what I expected. Not even close, to be honest. Okay, good draw. Let's see if it actually gets in there. And we get the edgy. Oh yeah, I forgot about that. So we're going to discard for sure. We're going to sacrifice for sure. Because we got to get the henge out of there. Opponent's going to gain some life while they can. I would have saved those for the next ooze, but maybe they do feel the pressure. Been a good game. Frustrating, but good. Sometimes those are the best. Each player sacrifices, each player discards. And it was the henge. Read skills intact. Ox is in graveyard. We've got 5 cards there. We've got to work on that. If the opponent top decks another ooze, well, I guess it's just a sacrifice here. They have to get out of Lock of Rankle. Rankle has them in the clutches right now. They're looking in the graveyard. God, did they draw the Midnight Rider thingy? Order of Midnight, that's it. Yeah, that's the card. That would be so brutal. Agadeem's Awakening, brutal. It's definitely one of those. We top decked Rankle. Did they out top deck us? It's Awakening. Here's Ooze, here's Beast. Bye-bye, Ox. Interesting that they keep a Beast. Heartless Act off the top. Oh my goodness. Destroy target creature, no counters, that's you. Attack with Rankle. We just completely undid this. Alright. Sacrifice a creature. No discards necessary. We don't want to draw. Although we could draw a Kroxa, but I don't think we want the opponent to have the chance to top deck out of the Rankle. We just want them to draw some blanks for a minute, things that don't fly, things that aren't removal spells. Top deck the Mauling. Sure. So the idea was that if Rankle hit, I could discard this Kroxa and then bring it back and have the 6/6 on the battlefield. But since that didn't work, we'll settle for a Lightning Bolt. Alright, off the top of your deck, green-black. Have you drawn another card to torture me with? Yep. I guess they could have killed this with the ability on the stack, right? Interesting. Let's exile the Rankle. Just in case they draw Scavenging Ooze, we don't want them to gain life. Down to 2. But they have a chump blocker next turn. Oh wait, they could die to the trigger if they draw land here. The hell, man? All right, good draw, good draw. 3, 4, 5. One more card in graveyard, and we Kroxa again. Opponent, how many good top decks are you gonna hit? They've top decked Ooze. No, maybe not the Ooze, but they top decked Awakening, Mauling, Bloodchief's Thirst, and Murderous Rider. All right, that's good. Let's see if they. Okay, so here's the thing. They take this hit, then we get back Kroxa, they lose. So we attack. They take it. Because they don't want Kroxa to come back, right? Which makes Shredded Sails actually lethal, because they're empty-handed. Covert Killer? I think not. Covert Killer. You should change your name. This hand is sweet, but our opponent probably still isn't rogues, as I see no Luris. Don't know if I should passage for black or red. I'm going to go for black, because casting Liliana lets me discard the Ox. One more win should secure the top 1200. You are rogues. Trick or treat. Little did you know I'm into that stuff. Okay, the only thing that can beat us now is failure to draw the right land. What? 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 Well, that's a good draw. We will Bone Crush one of these just before that they get too good. Just slow him down a little there. Soaring Thought Thief can put on a lot of hurt. Do we want this in our graveyard? Not really. So we'll bottom it. We're on 5. This requires 8. There's the Thought Thief. Saw it coming. And this is going to be 8. Wow. But I think we bring back the Kroxa first. Because we still have too many cards in our hand, and Ox isn't good when you just end up discarding a bunch more cards and turn their creatures right back on. They're down to 1 card. Slitherwisp into the bin. Trick or treat, roguies. Yes, by all means, keep filling the graveyard. See how it helps you. See the pain it creates. Alright, let's see if we can knock the last card out of their hand before we take another action. We could also just go for the Rankle, which is pretty vicious. If this ends up in the graveyard, though, we just get Kroxa back again. So I guess what they want is to Brazen Borrow. They have it. How about that? Alright, so I think the best play is to get rid of the Thought Thief. We end up losing the Liliana, though. We could also play this. I wish we had one more land. I have chosen a defensive Rankle because the opponent can't attack through it. This gives us a chance of possibly next turn playing Liliana and getting to keep her. Of course, the opponent does have a Brazen Borrower. Another smashing. So I think from here we can get our opponent to basically fall apart by taking out their best cards, forcing them to throw cards away, attacking Liliana. Just suck them dry.
Every death is an opportunity to increase my influence. Don't you just love the sort of death?
Take 3. And you take 3. The opponent will play Brazen, or not. Perhaps they're resigned to their fate. I expected them to play Brazen Borrower. I would block their Wind Robber with the Rankle. Then next turn I would attack with the Rankle, sacrifice a zombie, make them sacrifice their Brazen Borrower. And they top deck Awakening. Interesting. Very interesting. So they can sacrifice it to draw a card. Maybe that was their plan the whole time, but they just lose the card to Kroxa. Or Liliana. However I want them to lose it. Giant off the top. Alright, let's drop off the Ox. Thought Thief down. Call the Dead. We don't want the opponent to block with the Wind Robber, so we Bone Crush the Wind Robber. They sacrifice it to draw a card. We attack with the Rankle. If they have to chump block, or they just lose the Thought Thief and the card. Oh, they are tilted. Discard and sacrifice a creature. They lose the card. We lose the zombie, they lose the thief, they're back to nothing. Absolutely nothing! It's a trick, buddy! No treat for you. 441. That should be as they call the campable rank. We have gotten to the point where we will qualify for the next whatever qualifier for the next whatever tournament. eSPORTS! Yes, it has been a happy Halloween. Rogues was trick-or-treated. Yorion, well, we split that matchup, but pretty happy to take 1 out of 2. And the other nonsense, green-black mages we found along the way, properly tortured into submission. A finisher of 440, in 3 hours and 34 minutes. I expect this to decay into about 600 or so, which is enough for top 1200. In the past, for the sake of entertainment, I'd keep playing, but the fact that I might actually play the tournament changes the equation a little bit. A lot of you found the tournament very entertaining, so we might give it another go. We got to 70 in Mastery. Darn. But there's your 3 hours and 33 minutes. If you double that, it's 666. That's an evil number on Halloween. But Rakdos Kroxa, still a very good deck. Is this the way I'd build it for best of one? This build is definitely focused on rogues and aggressive decks. If you play as much Yorion in mid-range as I do, you don't need nearly as much of the cheap removal. The Heartless Axe could go out and become something more disruptive, like Agonizing Remorse, and make your deck a little bit better. And that's the biggest thing I would say. You could also run more 4-drops, to be honest, but for me, my 4-drop in this deck, the one I really want most of the time, is Kroxa or Ox and something else. So I don't think that running a lot of expensive cards makes the deck better. I think it makes it clunkier. And I like this very lean, low to the ground, lots of cheap effects version. I'm into it. I think that this is a pretty fun way to build the deck, and it's a very good deck to play. It's probably my third favorite style right now in Standard, which is kind of awesome because I do really like it. Right now, the top 4 decks in Standard are Gruul Adventures, some kind of Yorion, and Rogues, and Kroxa. Guess which one of those I don't like? You guessed it. It's the Gruul Adventure Big Green Creature deck that smashes with Embercleave. The other 3 decks, I like playing all of them, and I enjoy playing against them to an extent. They're frustrating in the good way that they're hard to beat, so your decisions matter. They are a problem that must be solved. I don't have more changes to suggest to the deck besides what I already went over, but congrats to Paulo Vitor Damatorosa for the 9 wins and Mike Sigrist for the 8 wins in their competitive play. I hope that you learned something about adjusting decks from competitive play for the meta you expect to face on ladder, because they're very different. And I wish all of you, I know it was yesterday, get over it, a happy Halloween. Support Extra Life. Bye.